Genesis chapter 3, the fall. Now the serpent was the most crafty of all the wild creatures that the Lord had made. He said to the woman, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" The woman said to the serpent, "We may eat the fruit of the trees in the garden, but of the fruit of the tree that is in the middle of the garden, God said, You shall not eat, and you shall not touch it, or you will die." The serpent said to the woman, "You will not die, for God knows that the day you eat it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like gods, knowing what is good and what is bad." The woman saw that the fruit was good to eat, pleasant to the eyes, and desirable for gaining knowledge. She took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband, who was with her, and he ate it. Then their eyes were opened, and both of them realized they were naked. So they sewed leaves of fig tree together and covered themselves. They heard the sound of the Lord God taking a walk in the garden in the cool of the day. And they, Adam and his wife, hid from the Lord God among the trees of the garden. The Lord God called Adam, saying to him, "Where are you?" He said, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." God said, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree I ordered you not to eat?" Adam answered, "The woman you put with me gave me fruit from the tree, and I ate it." The Lord God said to the woman, "What have you done?" The woman said, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." The judgment of God. The Lord God said to the serpent, "Since you have done this, be cursed among all the cattle and all wild beasts. You shall crawl on your belly and eat dust all the days of your life. I will make you enemies, you and the woman, your offspring and her offspring. He will crush your head, and you will strike at his heel." To the woman, God said, "I will increase your suffering in childbearing, and you will give birth to your children in pain. Yet your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you." To Adam, God said, "Because you have listened to your wife and have eaten from the tree of which I forbade you to eat, cursed be the ground because of you. In toil you will provide food for yourself from it all the days of your life. It will produce thorn and thistle for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. With the sweat of your face you will eat bread until you return to the ground from which you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you will return." Adam named his wife Eve because she was the mother of all the living. The Lord God made garments of skin for Adam and his wife, and with these he clothed them. Then the Lord God said, "Adam has now become like one of us, making himself judge of good and evil. Let him not stretch out his hand to take and eat from the tree of life as well, and live forever." So the Lord God cast him out of the Garden of Eden to till the ground from which he had been made. And after having driven the man out, he posted a cherubim and a flaming sword that kept turning in all directions to guard the way to the tree of life. Genesis chapter 4, Cain and Abel. Adam had intercourse with his wife Eve. She became pregnant and gave birth to a child. She named him Cain, for she said, "I have got a man with the help from the Lord." She later gave birth to Abel, his brother. Abel was a shepherd and kept flocks, and Cain tilled the soil. It happened after a time that Cain brought fruits of the toil as an offering to the Lord. Abel, for his part, brought the firstborn of his flock and some of their fats as well. Now the Lord was well pleased with Adam and his offering, but towards Cain and his offering he showed no regard. This made Cain very angry and downcast. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry and downcast? If you do right, why do you not hold your head high? But if you are not doing what is right, sin is lurking at the door. It is striving to get you, but you must master it." Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let's go out to the fields." Once there, Cain turned on his brother Abel and killed him. The Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" He answered, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? The Lord asked, What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood is crying out to me from the ground. Now be cursed and driven from the ground that has opened its mouth and receive your brother's blood that your hand has shed. When you till the ground, it will no longer yield its fruits, its produce. You will be a fugitive wandering on the earth. Cain said to the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. See, today you are driving me out of this land. I must hide from you and be a wanderer and a fugitive on the earth, and it will so happen that whoever meets me will kill me. The Lord said to him, Well then, whoever kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times. And the Lord put a mark on Cain to prevent anyone who met him from killing him. Cain then went away from the Lord's presence and settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden. The descendants of Cain and Seth. Cain had intercourse with his wife. She conceived and gave birth to Enoch. Cain built a town. He called it by the name of his son, Enoch. A son, Irad, was born to Enoch. Irad became father of Mehujael, and Mehujael of Methushael, and Methushael of Lamech. Lamech had 2 wives, Ada and Zillah. Ada gave birth to Jabal. He was father to those who live in tents and keep flocks. His brother was Jubal. He was father to all those who play the lyre and flute. As for Zillah, she gave birth to Tubal-Cain, forger of all tools in bronze and iron. The sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice, wives of Lamech. Listen to what I say, for I killed a man for wounding me and a boy for striking me. If 7-fold is the vengeance for Cain, then 77-fold it shall be for Lamech. Adam again had intercourse with his wife, and she gave birth to a son and named him Seth. For she said, The Lord has given me another child in place of Abel, since Cain killed him. To Seth also a son was born, and he called him Enosh. At that time, people began to call on the name of the Lord. Psalm chapter 2, the 2 Rains. Why are the nations in tumult? Why do the peoples plot in vain? The kings of the earth brace themselves, and the rulers together take their stand against the Lord and his anointed. They say, Let us break their fetters, let us cast away their chains. He who is enthroned in heaven laughs, the Lord scoffs at them. Then in anger he speaks to them, terrifying them in the fury of his wrath. I have anointed my king on Zion, my holy hill. I will proclaim the decree of the Lord. He said to me, You are my son, this day I have begotten you. Ask of me, and I will give you the nations as your inheritance, the ends of the earth for your possession. You shall rule them with iron scepter, and shatter them with a potter's vase. Now therefore, learn wisdom, O kings, be warned, O rulers of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear, and with trembling fall at his feet, lest he be angry and you perish when his anger suddenly flares. Blessed are all who take refuge in him. Matthew chapter 2, the wise men from the east. When Jesus was born in Bethlehem, in Judea, during the days of King Herod, wise men from the east arrived in Jerusalem. They asked, Where is the newborn King of the Jews? We saw the rising of his star in the east and have come to honor him. When Herod heard this, he was greatly disturbed, and with all him the people in Jerusalem. He called a meeting of all high-ranking priests and experts of the law and asked where the Messiah was to be born. They told him, In the town of Bethlehem in Judea, for this is what the prophets wrote. And you, Bethlehem, land of Judah, you are by no means the least among the leading cities of Judah. For from you will come a leader, the one who is to shepherd my people Israel. So Herod called the wise men to a private meeting and found out from them the exact time when the star had appeared. Then he sent them to Bethlehem with the instruction, "Go and search carefully for the child. As soon as you have found him, report to me so that I too may go and honor him." After the meeting with the king, they set out. The star that they had seen in the east went ahead of them and stopped over the place where the child was. The wise men were overjoyed on seeing the star again. They went into the house, and when they saw the child with Mary his mother, they knelt down and worshipped him. They opened their treasure chest and offered to him their gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. They were warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, so they returned their home country by another way. The flight to Egypt. After the wise men had left, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph and said, "Get up, take the child and his mother and escape into Egypt and stay there until I tell you. Herod will soon be looking for the child in order to kill him." Joseph got up, took the child and his mother, and left that night for Egypt, and he stayed there until the death of Herod. In this way, what the Lord had spoken through the prophet was fulfilled. "I called my son out of Egypt." The massacre of the innocents. When Herod found out that he had been tricked by the wise men, he was furious. He gave orders to kill all the boys in Bethlehem and his neighborhood who were 2 years old or under. This was done in accordance with what he had learned from the wise men about the time when the star appeared. In this way, what the prophet Jeremiah had spoken was fulfilled. A cry is heard in Ramah, wailing and loud lamentation. Rachel weeps for her children. She refuses to be comforted, for they are no more. The return from Egypt. After Herod's death, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph and said, "Get up, take the child and his mother and go back to the land of Israel, because those who tried to kill the child are dead." So Joseph got up, took the child and his mother and went to the land of Israel. But when Joseph heard that Archelaus had succeeded his father Herod as king of Judea, he was afraid to go there. He was directed by a dream and went to the region of Galilee. There he settled in a town called Nazareth. Thus what was spoken by the prophets was fulfilled: "He shall be called a Nazarene."